It's my joy in life. So I'm gonna make a hearty meal in our pressure cooker, and it's gonna spice up your life. So I'm using the pressure cooker, and our pressure cooker, it's kind of my savior. It's my I don't know what to make for dinner contraption, because it saves my life in so many situations. And we make one pot pasta in this thing like crazy. I use it to do the rotisserie chicken that Judy taught us. One of my other favorite recipes with the pressure cooker, Cindy, anything Cindy says it's a recipe that's good, you have to try it because they all come out delicious. She does the spinach creamy tortellini chicken and spinach soup. It is so good and it's really delicious. So, and another one she recommended is the one I'm making tonight. It is the white chicken chili. So really simple and healthy and delicious, very flavorful. And you just need your pressure cooker, which is your 3-quart capacity pressure cooker. And of course, it's nice to cook with pressure because it'll cook faster, and you develop what they call a super steam. And when you cook with super steam and moisture, your heat penetrates faster, and it actually will enhance the flavor of all of your ingredients. It kind of blooms your spices, makes them kind of waken up, right, in your dish. So cooking with your pressure cooker not only saves you time, it'll make your food taste better and cook faster, as well as use less energy because you're using your microwave versus heating up your oven or turning on the stove. The elements, when you're using the elements, the heat is escaping all around, plus you have the surface temperature. So cooking with the pressure cooker is way more efficient. What I did already was cube up your chicken. So I just did 2 chicken breasts and cube it up into little bite-sized pieces. Like if you were gonna eat a soup, you'd like to have those small pieces. You don't want a big old chunk of chicken in there. And then we're going to add to it poblano peppers. Does everybody know what a poblano pepper is? Or are you familiar with all the poblano or all the different types of peppers there are? So a fun little thing. So this is a poblano. Sometimes they're really big and sometimes they're smaller than this. And if you just go to your produce section and look at all of your peppers, a poblano is a step up from a bell pepper. So if you've had like a red or yellow or orange or a green bell pepper, on the Scoville scale, if you're familiar with Scovilles, it tells you how much capsaicin is in a pepper, and that's how a human determines how hot things are. And the Scoville measurement for a poblano is 1 step up from a bell pepper. So this is a nice kind of starter pepper if you're afraid of heat. It will add a lot of flavor without that heat, right? And we know a jalapeno, can be spicy. Some jalapenos are spicier than others. That one's about 2 to 3 steps up from a poblano. So this is kind of a safe pepper to go with. And it's a family favorite here. I know I can add it to our dishes and nobody's gonna worry that it's too spicy, right? And we're just gonna cut it, de-seed it and cut it into little 1-inch pieces or 1/2-inch pieces, just depending on the size that you like. And I love using our chopping board because it has 2 sides. If you're not familiar with our chopping board, it does have 2 sides. It's kind of reversible. One side has like a raised edge, like you see I used it here. So when you're using your knife, you can actually cut all the way down with ease, and your hand can go past the top edge of the cutting board and you'll get a nice cut. But then you can also use it on the opposite side, and you're gonna see you have like a well or a moat around the outside edge of the cutting board. So if you're cutting things that are juicy like tomatoes, the juices, or even like citrus, the juices from those things will come into that little well on the reverse side, and you won't get it all over your countertop. Right? So it's kind of a dual purpose cutting board, and it's really just the perfect size. So I love using our little chopping board. And I did go ahead and cut the onions and 2 cloves, and I'm going to put them in the chop and prep. because I don't want to cry over my onions, right? So I've got the little chopping prep. I'm going to put my onion in and my 2 garlic cloves. Oh, and I want to show you a fun little hack that you can probably do on your little Zoom parties. You know, it's a pain to peel garlic cloves, right? Does anybody love to peel garlic cloves? You smell like garlic for a week, right? So you take your garlic clove and it's got all that tough outer kind of shell on the outside, right? And you could pick at it or you could slice it off, and then you've got garlic all on your fingers and fingernails. You put it inside a tumbler. I like to use a taller one that you have a seal for. You seal it up. Okay, and this might be loud, so protect your ears. And you just give it a good shake. Maybe make the kids do it, right? Get out their aggressions from school. And then inside, you can see that it has kind of de-shelled the garlic. So I don't have to do it with a knife. Voila, I have my beautiful garlic ready to go into the recipe. So a fun little trick to use your tumbler for. We'll put all this in our little chop and prep here. And instead of me trying to chop it up into the little fine sizes that we have, fine pieces that you want in your dish, I can do that with a couple of pulls. And it's ready to go into my chicken. Look at that. La la. Oh my gosh, the garlic, it smells so good. Now that we have Zoom, we need smell-o-vision, right? Okay, so I'm putting that on my chicken. Then we need 1 can of Great Northern beans, white beans, whatever you want to call them. You could use navy beans if you wanted to, just any kind of white bean. And if you wanted a little texture, you could do like a chickpea, a little more dense kind of bean. Okay. And then of course the poblano pepper, just slide that in. And then 2 tablespoons. I like to use 1 tablespoon just because of the heat, but you can decide, of our Southwest Chipotle DIY seasoning blend. So I'm just going to do 1 tablespoon, but you can adjust that to yourself. The recipe does say 2, but I'll put that on the Bravo page so you guys can find it. And then here's kind of the magic sauce, okay? Which you saw, I just did the chicken, the onion, the garlic, the poblano pepper, and the beans. And now I'm just going to pour over the top a little salsa verde. I could make this if I wanted to, but why? It's perfectly done in a jar already for me at the store. So, and it's basically just tomatillos, a little bit of cilantro, a little bit of lime, and a little bit of green chilies. And I chose the mild option. You can get hotter flavors if you'd like, but just any salsa verde works great. Okay, and I'm going to pour that over. It's a 24-ounce jar. I'm just going to mix that all up together so it kind of incorporates. I'm going to put on the cover here, line up the arrows on the top, make sure my locking clip is up, twist it into position. And when I know that the handles are lined up, I know that it's sealed and I can click it down into place. I'm going to put this in the microwave for 15 minutes. And then once the indicator valve tells me it's back down and all the pressure has been released, I can open it back up. It's usually anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, just depending. And I will have a delicious, hearty white chicken chili for us to enjoy. Maybe add some chips to it, and I'll show you some other toppings we'll put on later.
Thank you, Shana.